Hey guys, Hasselman Mechanic once again with a brand new video for you, and a happy new year and all the best to 2013 for all of my fans, viewers and friends. I hope 2013 is the best year ever for you guys, and I hope it is for me as well. Obviously, it's been a bumpy 2012 to be honest with you. We've grown a ton. We've also taken a couple of setbacks here and there, but overall, it's been a fantastic year, and I just hope I'm able to keep growing, and just to keep on trucking more than anything else. But anyway, it's time to start a brand new series on this channel, and this is something I've been teasing for a little while now. And this is going to be a 12-video series that's going to take place over the next 3 weeks, as I review every team in Formula 1 off of their 2012 seasons. I mean, I was thinking about doing, maybe a half-an-hour season review video like I did last year, but then everybody was doing that. So I thought, let's make it a more worthwhile, better put-together kind of series. I had this for a little while ago, and I thought, why not be a good time to put it together now? So, this is the first of a 12-part series. I'm going to put all my other series ideas on hold unless something comes up. And hopefully I'm going to try and put one of these out every other day. So maybe Wednesday, if I'm not working, we'll see the second part of these. But let's review the 2012 Constructors' Champions, Red Bull Racing, and their two drivers, Sebastian Vettel and Mark Webber. This year was a tad different for the world champion Sebastian Vettel. Yeah, statistically he was still very good in the end. 6 pole positions, 5 race wins, 17 times he finished in the points, 10 of those times on the podium, only 2 retirements, and obviously the world title with 281 points in first place. The thing is, he didn't stand out the first half of the season as someone who could have potentially go on to win the world title. He was decent, he was getting the solid results here and there, but he only had the 1 race win for the first half of the year and only 2 other times on the podium. But the second half of the year he turned it up. The second place in Belgium, he had obviously the 4 race win streak he had for Singapore, Japan, Korea and India, one of those being a Grand Slam in Japan. And obviously the last 2 races, or 2 of the last races of the year, Abu Dhabi, where obviously the fuel bump issue made him start from the back, and despite the tweaked car, to be able to pass the field like he did and eventually finish in 3rd was a tremendous drive. And the drive in Brazil, debatable as it was over yellow flags, which people still argue about to this day, he finished in 6th place, and there was the drive of a true champion to win the world title. Despite very close opposition and despite his car not being as dominant as it was last year, Sebastian Vettel did more than enough in the end to get the job done, despite some pretty bad luck. The sky's the limit for Sebastian Vettel, and who knows how many more titles he could end up with. He is still the man to beat in this sport. So how about Mark Webber? Well, it was kind of a tale of 2 seasons for him. 2 pole positions overall, 2 race wins in Great Britain and in Monaco. He eventually ended up with 179 points, which was 6th place in the Constructors' Championship after 15 points finishes and 5 podium results. If you split up the 179 though, you do get something very interesting. 120 of his points came in the first half of the season, the first 10 races. He only scored 59 points in the second half of the year, and it was littered without a race win. His best result was the 2nd place in Korea, and only 1 other podium result within that time. Yes, he was plagued by bad luck in Abu Dhabi and America, but overall you have to think and wonder. Maybe he could have challenged Kimi Raikkonen as high as 3rd in the Constructors' Championship with a little bit more luck and some slightly better finishes. You can argue, yes, he's still got a very good car, but Sebastian Vettel had the same car as him, and Vettel was in that 4-race win streak at the same time. It does make you wonder, and it does make you think, is Mark Webber's window starting to close for him and a potential world title? He's been close and he's been in the running ever since he joined Red Bull. Is it the car more than his own ability? I don't know. It's starting to wonder how much longer Red Bull going to give him. Are they going to make him the clear number 2 like Ferrari are, or are they going to start to think about a potential younger replacement, maybe a Daniel Ricciardo or something like that? But Marky Mark started strong, limped to the finish, and unfortunately that's what's going to drag his grade down a little bit. Mark Webber, solid number 2, but still just can't get over the hump. How about the car? Well, Red Bull didn't have the outright pace it had last year when it was so dominant, clearly. And for the first half of the year, it just didn't stand out from the pack, where McLaren and often Ferrari would show equal, if not better, race pace. But that's the thing, McLaren and Ferrari, they kind of shot their loads early when it came to car development. Red Bull were consistent, they didn't lose too much to their rivals in the first half of the year, and as the second half of the year got better. They fixed their qualifying concerns. Vettel got the best out of the car, Webber not so much, but the car showed it had the pace and was more than willing, to be the best car in the sport by the time we rolled around to the end of the year. Those drives in Brazil, Abu Dhabi, America, where we're going head-to-head with the McLarens and were virtually identical, Red Bull clearly had the best car by the second half of the year, and there was that gradual improvement by the team and Adrian Newey which got them over the top, in my opinion. So yeah, the car was slow to start with, but did get better as time went on. But I am going to take some points off because of its alternator concerns across the board. Vettel had 2 retirements because of that alternator, and they were crapping themselves at the end, hoping it wouldn't cut out again. Not to mention they were low on engines, and yeah, Webber had a mechanical retirement in the United States as well. So 3 race retirements means I'm going to take a little bit off the grade for the car, but overall, Red Bull are still the team to beat in Formula 1, and you know what, they weren't even as good as what they were last year, and they still won the World Constructors pretty darn comfortably. The grades will come up at the end of the video for Vettel, Webber, the car, and my overall grade for the team itself. If you have an argument against anything I've had to say, or obviously you've got your own thoughts, please, I encourage you, send them below. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. I'll check back for Ferrari next time around. Until then, I've been Harrison101, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time. Sayonara.